Hi, I'm Laura, and I decided that I was going to do this video because just a couple of people, well, a few people had asked me the same question, which is about it. It's the big one. It's, so what do you do on this program? What is it that you do? And also it's important to address because there are so many people out there who can and will help people with parenting. I'm not even going to say issues, concerns, or life. I mean, this is our life. And as such, the other obvious question is, well, what makes you different? And I've just had a conversation with this really amazing person. Oh, excuse my lighting. I've just had this a conversation with a really amazing person, and I realized through the course of this is that I actually am quite different to other people in my approach. And so I want to talk you through my 6-week programs. This is my signature 6-week program, and it's called, that's why I've actually pre-recorded this on Zoom so that I could show you exactly what it is that I do. So this is the 6-week program companion materials. So everybody who signs up with me, oh, I said 50 and it's 49 pages. That's frustrating. So you get a 49-page booklet. And I use this booklet to structure what we do, but also there's quite a hefty dose of, I mean, this is a self-healing program. I am not a therapist. I'm not a psychotherapist. I'm not a counselor. So it's not the kind of thing where we sit and we discuss, each week for an hour. That's not how I work. I work on a transformational package. And as part of this transformational package, you come out at the other end of the 6 weeks with the tools and the skills and some huge leaps in understanding about yourself, about children, about psychology, about how humans work and interact, and about yourself and your place within your family. This 6-week program will not solve all your problems. No 6-week program will solve all your problems. But what my thing does, which is different to other people, is that I set you on a road to self-healing and to your own success, because at the end of the day, you need to be able to do things and interact in a way that is real to you. It's not a one-size-fits-all. This ends up being tailored through our discussions, and well, through the way that you take it, it ends up being tailored to you and to your life. And then of course you can continue to develop yourself. So there are 3 pillars to my 6-week program, and each of them I focus 2 weeks each. So initially, I'm over here. This is identify and accept. So to be a bit real, nobody signs up with me because everything is sunshines and rainbows. And that's fine. I mean, to be honest, even if you did, even if everything was great and you're just really, really interested, you'll learn a lot. And it's really, really interesting. But a lot of people, when they do book, they are telling me in our discovery calls, which is the call that we do before we actually start working together, where I see if and how I can support you, and you get a bit more of a feel for me and whether you think that we could work together. So identify and accept. We accept that we are who we are where we are right now, and that's okay. Maybe we're frustrated, maybe we're burned out, maybe our kids are driving us up the wall. That's okay, because this is the first step on the self-healing path, is identifying what is going on for us and accepting it with loving kindness, which is a lot harder than you'd think, which is a real shame. And we talk about, why that is and how we can move forward. So we identify and accept, and we do some really powerful meditations and stepping into your power as a leader in your family. The next pillar, the second pillar, is deactivate and release. This is where we go into your stories from your early years. Now, you don't have to have had a really upsetting childhood. to work with me. I do work with cycle breakers. I work with people who've come from extremely chaotic backgrounds and have incredibly achieved so much in their lives. And somebody actually put it really, really well. She said, you know what, I have this career, I met my husband, I did amazing things, I traveled, I got this really great name for myself, and I kept telling myself, I'm okay, I'm okay, I came out of it, I'm okay. And then I had kids. And then I had kids, and they held up this mirror that I couldn't just sweep to the side like I had been with everything that triggered me before. And Dr. Shefali, PhD, she's a huge writer. When she kicked off the conscious parenting movement, she talks about children as our awakeners. And oh my goodness, that is true. I speak this from my own truth and experience of having 3 children under 4 at one point. Crikey, that was an awakening in itself. And you know, sometimes when the kids that we butt heads with the most in our family are the ones where we come away from an interaction and we go, oh, he is so like me. Oh, she's just like me when I was 14. There are awakeners. And we can identify and accept that that is what's happening. And then in weeks 3 and 4 of my 6-week program, I help you to go into what those triggers are from your childhood. So is it that you grew up in scarcity and now you are triggered by the worry of not having enough, and it makes you maybe not show up in a way that you wish when your children waste things? Is it that you grew up in a very chaotic household and you're now finding it hard to be consistent because your default, your safe zone, which is what you had when you were 0 to 7, when your subconscious blueprint was created and laid down, what you will always fall back on in times of stress is that early blueprint. And if you say you had lots of fights or you didn't feel that you were loved or supported when you were young, and that maybe a sibling, these are all stories from clients that I've worked with, you know, a sibling was hurting you and your parents, as you now know as an adult, they couldn't deal with it. But as a child, as a 6-year-old, you take away, you know, that message, I'm not loved. They don't love me as much as the other person. Why am I not lovable? And then when you become a parent, you can bury that for decades. And then you become a parent and one kid hits the other kid and you just flip. Here we are back to pillar 1, identify and accept. Okay, something is going on. Okay, this is where we are right now. I am a good parent. I am a good person. I am trying. And now we go into deactivate and release. So we work out. I'm going to show you a bit of a sneak preview, how we do it. So we release those triggers. We release the subconscious attachment. It's incredibly powerful. Working out what your old stories are, using your conscious mind to change the script. I call it flip the script. And then releasing your subconscious attachment to those stories, which is amazing and powerful. And the third pillar is moving forward. This is where we finally talk about the kids. You'll notice that weeks 1, 2, 3, and 4 were all about the parent, because you know, of course it's about us. Many of us, you know, we had kids even if you had kids in your, say, early 20s or late teens, that's many years of conditioning, of experiences, of reacting to other people. I had mine when I was 29 when I was pregnant, and it was just after my 30th birthday that I had my first child. 30 years. How can we possibly imagine that when we came to parenting, that we can be a blank tablet of patience and calm? Of course we're not. We have stuff in there because that is the normal human condition. Here we go again, back to identify and accept. This is life. So yeah, move forward is about, this is where I teach conflict resolution skills. I teach you how to build autonomy with your children. I teach you how to listen in a way that they need you. Us, because I'm including myself, I learn every time I do one of these. It makes me a better parent every single time. And the things that you can do, that you can change in physically in your house. I mean, I'm literally talking about moving around furniture and putting up photos and providing a safe space to talk, really stuff like that. and how you are going to move forward, how you're going to ring fence and build your life, ring fence time and build your life around having conscious parenting as a priority, having listening to children and young people, teenagers, even as they're leaving the home. If you want them to come back to you when they need you, you need to be doing this constantly, this conscious parenting. So this is how it goes. So identify and accept, deactivate and release your triggers, and moving forward with conscious awareness and love as your guide. This is why it's called Deactivate Triggers, Activate Love. Because you love your kids. Everybody loves their kids. Of course you love your kids. The trouble is when these triggers, and they may be triggers from, our early years and our past, they may be triggers from, I'm so tired. Remembering I had 3 under 4, I know how tired you can be. And when you are that tired, and when you haven't done anything for yourself, you haven't read a book for 2 years, you haven't been out with a friend for, and I know we're in lockdown, so it's even worse right now, you haven't been out with a friend or seen a film for years, this becomes a trigger. So we look at these, these contemporaneous, like right now triggers that we talk about in the first pillar of how to deal with, how to truly look after ourselves in a real way, not in a, oh, congratulations, you had a shower, that's self-care. That's not self-care, it's basic hygiene. You deserve more. And it's about taking more and realizing that if you look after yourself, you look after your family. Investing in you is investing in your family. So many of us won't invest in ourselves, but we don't realize that is the best way to serve our family. So here we are. This is, again, the 3 pillars, because they are so important. Each week has a different theme. Here's a bit from me. So each week has it's big title page. So week 1, we step into our power. So I welcome you into the community. I'm just going to scroll through because obviously, the people who work with me, we do this in depth. There is further reading at the end of every single chapter, week, area, because these are big areas. We cover a lot each week. Your time and your money is important. So I teach you, we go through some exercises, and I teach you how to keep doing it for yourself, because this has to be part of your life for it to be meaningful, because it's your life. Nobody can come in and tell you how to do it, but someone like me can help you. So week 2, we look at reparenting. Reparenting isn't disrespectful. Reparenting is simply acknowledging without blame that our parents were not and are not able to meet every single need that we have. And we can, with love and respect, we can say, okay, I didn't feel heard as a child. I know you were trying your best. Thank you for trying your best. Not that we don't tell parents that we're doing this. You tried your best and I still didn't feel heard, and that's okay. And I don't have to live with that now. I can heal myself. This is reparenting, going in and giving yourself what you needed when you were a child or a young person. So here we have the conscious understanding, flip the script from our old stories. I will help you work out what your old stories are and change them to our new stories with adult insight, where we now know, oh, it wasn't that they didn't love me as much as my sister. It was that my sister, as we found out 10 years after this, my sister had special educational needs, and my parents didn't know how to cope with it. Ta-da! See, here we have our conscious understanding, and our conscious understanding does get us most of the way, but so we use affirmations as well to support. But in our next week, in the week 3, the deactivation, which is, this is my favorite week, is where we let go of the subconscious attachment, because understanding consciously that what we believed as children and the assumptions that we have based our attributions, this is a technical word, the attributions of ourselves, i.e., I am too loud, I am bossy, I am not lovable, I am not good enough. These attributions that we come to at the stage of our life, 0 to 7, these are underpinning everything we do and say in our life. And they are not serving us. And, we realize consciously that, oh, actually, that's not how it was. That's what it looked like to a 7-year-old. But I'm now 36. I don't need to be carrying that around with us. And unfortunately, it doesn't work like that, because we do still carry the subconscious, we carry these subconscious beliefs. And if you've had them for, 30, 40 years, you can't just go, oh yeah, I get it. And it goes. So here we identify, what it is, the trigger behavior that the children do or that happens in the home, the trigger emotion. I'm just going to scroll down a bit and show you. These are the emotional triggers, the most common emotional triggers. So something that happened, like feeling safe, feeling included, having autonomy, being understood, being accepted. So what is it? It's a behavior that happens in the home right now, something normally that the children do, the trigger emotion that is triggering you, and where it came from in your past. What is going on? And now when we've worked it out, this is normally the moment where people are sitting back in their chairs and they're like, oh my goodness, I get it. Wow. And I actually have a video of this on my YouTube channel, which you're welcome to find, and it will be in my Facebook page. The links are all in my bio anyway, so you can just hop over to them. Ho'oponopono. I did it was nearly 45-minute training on what is Ho'oponopono. The short version here is, it is an adaptation of an ancient Hawaiian prayer for release and restitution, and it's even used in social justice contexts, which is just incredible. We go through it and we release our attachment to the subconscious beliefs. So we've unpicked them consciously. We now understand how to accept who we are and the feelings that we're having, and to employ real meaningful self-care so we don't explode. We don't take it, explode. And now we've released the attachment to the subconscious underlying. You have to do this again and again and again. And sometimes you think that you've done it. I'm here too to say that I do it all the time. You think that you've released it. This is why this program is the start of your self-healing journey. You think you've released it, and then boom, it'll hit you in the face again. But after you've been through this program, you know what to do. You know how to care for yourself. Pinch points is where we start actually talking about your home now. So we start widening. Now we've deactivated those triggers, we can widen our focus into into your family. We start bringing the children in. We start bringing relationships now. We start talking about fears and how fear is a massive driver. We turn the kaleidoscope so that we can start to see, oh, I'm loving them by making them do their homework, eat their vegetables, get out of the house on time for such and such. When I think of how it feels to be on the other end of what I'm doing right now out of love and fear, my fear is making me control. Oh, but even just knowing it, and now people are reporting after this particular week, much greater connection because they understand their children so much more. And I've had this from people with 4-year-olds, with 8-year-olds, and with 17-year-olds. It's really powerful. More further reading. Week 5 is the toolkit, where I teach you how to teach your children to understand what they're feeling and how to learn to communicate to you what they're feeling. It's also very useful for adults. This does work with grown-ups. And here there's an example one. I teach you some really powerful techniques like the pause button and empowered autonomy. That's an amazing one. We talk about, flipping the script from what we do now and reframing it. I'll introduce the 5 love languages. The 5 love languages is incredible. If you've never heard of it, there is a couples version, there is just a human being person version, and there's one for children and how to interact with your children. So we talk about that and how you can apply it in your life. And the 6th week, when we reach the end, we talk about moving forward in your home as a leader in your family. We talk about loving boundaries. Most of us know about boundaries, but we don't know how to do them. Aha, I teach you. And the really, really powerful thing about setting boundaries, and doing it in this way is that not only are you setting boundaries for yourself and your own sanity, you are teaching and empowering your children to do it too as they grow forward. Now, for them to be teenagers and young adults who have healthy boundaries and safe boundaries, I have a daughter, so I feel extremely passionate about this. For us to be able to set boundaries and teach our children to do that, we need to be doing it really early, and we need to be doing it in the same consistent way. This is literally a script that you can use to fall back on. Changes in your environment, how to, continue with the next best thought, commitment to continue, and then, my friends, ready to go. You can probably tell I get quite emotional by week 6 because the change in the humans, the parents, the wonderful individuals who go through this program is so profound. And just knowing that they are going into their lives and their relationships with their children in such a different way is incredible. So that is, in a nutshell, the Deactivate Triggers, Activate Love program. So it's 6 weeks. The commitment is 1 hour with me, where we go through, the program as applies to your family. And it is also, you really need to set aside an hour to do your own reflections each week. It's 2 hours. It's 12 hours. 12 hours to a huge sea change in your life and your relationships and your connection with your family and your children. I think that's all. So please just send me a message anytime that you want to talk. Send me a message anytime that you have any questions. Thank you very much for your time. Bye.